The Nyesom Wike debacle is still a tasty and frosty situation for the opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP. The party is still preoccupied with resolving issues between Governor Wike and its presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar. The PDP national chairman, Senator Iyorchia Ayu, said he has no plan to resign his position as demanded by some members led by Governor Wike. In a statement by his special advisor on media and communication, Simon Imobo Sawana, the People's Democratic Party chairman insisted that he will run out his 4 years as stipulated by Section 45 and Section 47 of the PDP Constitution. Jude, so we know that demand number one of the Nyesom Wike party people was that, look, everything is looking lopsided. We want this power to be reversed, and we can't have a presidential candidate from the north, and we have the chairman of the party from the north, that Iyorchia Ayu must first step down. That's demand number one. And Iyorchia Ayu is saying that, look, I've been elected for a 4 years as stipulated by the law.
Well, Secondus too boasted that he will not leave. But he's still there today. He boasted, even sued them. But he's still there today. My problem with political leaders is the greed for power. PDP has a tradition. That tradition is clear. That when a presidential candidate emerges from one zone, either north or south, then the national chairman of the party will come from
the other zone.
Yaradua was president. He died untimely. He died in office. Jonathan stepped in as president. That forced the PDP to remove the national chairman of the party, who was a southerner, and installed a northerner in his place. So, I don't, and it is not Wike alone who is thinking that, in the interest of fairness, that tradition has to be maintained. Look at someone like Kawu Baraje. Kawu Baraje came out to say, look, we can't at this stage now throw away tradition. This is what we've always done. Kawu Baraje was a national chairman of the PDP. Said this is what we've always done. If we did it to Ogbulafo left the thing, why should someone else, why should Iyorchia Ayu now say it's going nowhere? You know, at the time when they conducted the convention of the party, no one knew who would become the candidate. Now the candidate has come from the north. All that they need to do is to revert to tradition. Let the south produce the chairman. That way, everyone will feel that, yes, this is a party for us, and they will be happy. But to continue to hold on to the national chairmanship, hold on to the presidential candidacy of the party, I don't think it's right. So if there's anything that Wike is fighting for that makes sense among all the demands, this is probably one of them. And like I said earlier, it's not Wike alone who thinks that it's an aberration for Ayu to remain in office when the presidential candidate of the party is from the north. And even the Wike said earlier that even the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum is also someone from the north. So it is strange to some people that the South has more governors
in the party.
In the party. Yet it's that same South that appears to be getting the short end of the stick. Many of them felt that what the APC governors from the north did was what should have happened in the PDP.
It would have been that noble.
If it had happened in the PDP, it would not have shocked us because the majority of them are from the south.
Yeah.
But here we are in the APC.
It's more
The majority of the governors are from the north, yet they were the ones who championed a rotation of power to the south. In the PDP constitution, it is enshrined that power shall be rotated. But right now, that section of their constitution has been ignored.
This kind of crisis happening some months to the presidential election. What do you make of it?
The PDP is troubled. The PDP is obviously troubled, and they are lucky to due to this chance given by the new arrangement.
Yes,
So we have
right.
months to the election.
Yes.
If we were to be what's obtained in the past,
That's 3
the
months.
party is,
After
it's
nomination
done.
of
It's
candidate.
done in. But I still believe that as a party that is serious about taking over the presidency, they may find a way around it. But I tell you, unless Wike is pacified, PDP will have problem. There is this pop artist that say, "Oh man, no problem." PDP will have serious problem. A look at what is happening
Reminisce.
will reveal that a lot of people in PDP, the governors, the chieftains, are hypocrites, especially from the south. I'll tell you. The moment they allowed tradition to be ignored, and leading to the emergence of a northern presidential candidate, they lost it. Because the PDP is one party that has entrenched in its constitution all that it wants to do. One is rotation of power. By their constitution, the South should be producing the presidential candidate of the party. Somehow, they ended up throwing it open. Some of these people now complaining that we can't have it this way, supported the emergence of a northern presidential candidate. Some of them even ran from the north to contest the election. That is one. Two, the governors from the south were so divided that they allowed the north to take the presidential ticket from them. Now, talking about Ayu, it is not just, as BKO said, the tradition. There was an agreement. A man's words should be his bond. I covered the events leading to his emergence as national chairman of the party. And I recall that Wike, ironically, was one of those rooting for Ayu, working behind the scene and openly for him. At a point, the same Wike answered the question about what happens if a northerner emerges on behalf of Ayu when he first said, in Benue, it was in Benue, with Otto, when he said, they have spoken with our intended national chairman, and he has said, if by any mistake a northerner emerges as presidential candidate, he would resign from office. 2 days later, Ayu himself was in Abuja, and he reiterated Wike's position that yes, we have an understanding to respect the party's constitution and to allay the fears of southerners who are saying the emergence of Ayu is a ploy. To allay the fears of northerners who are saying the emergence of Ayu is a ploy to ensure the ticket for the south. Now he said, no. If a northerner emerges, I will resign. He said it himself. So if we are at this point now, and Ayu is saying he's elected for a 4-year term, that's the constitution. If he is elected, he has a 4-year term. What happens to those agreements? One. What happens to the conditions?
No PDP governor has lasted 4 years. No PDP
national chairman. Secondus was elected for 4 years.
None of them has lasted 4
was
years.
elected for 4 years. Amadou Ali, none of them had stayed for 4 years.
Let's come back. We are looking at the intra-party crisis within the People's Democratic Party. Jide, do you think we somehow, yesterday I asked my guest too, do you think we are fair to Atiku Abubakar? Atiku Abubakar ran against Wike in the primary election, somebody that we went to war together. He's not obliged in any way to make him his deputy.
No.
So
I don't think.
And do you think if you have the choice of choosing between Atiku and Okowa, between Okowa and Wike, who will
And
you
you
choose?
are Atiku.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, so you are now imagining
We're putting
the PDP presidential. See, if I were in Atiku's shoes, I would not pick Wike. I said it before here. He had his reasons for picking Okowa. He had his reasons. And look, the candidate should have the power to choose whoever he likes. But this matter is beyond him not choosing Wike. Wike's own concern was that after he lost to Atiku, the Atiku has made no direct effort to reach out to him. He said he visited on that day, but he visited with other people, that no direct contact had happened. And I think that Atiku was wrong in doing that.
Don't you think Wike has been behaving like a bad loser?
No.
He has not recovered from his loss.
Oh, there are other people too who have not recovered from Tinubu defeating them at... They should be this one even hosted them. He hosted them in his house. He hosted them in his house. I don't think it's simply, because he lost. I think that he is not trashing around like a baby that his candy was taken away. There are some fundamental issues that he wants addressed. If he said, look, there has been no direct
communication.
Contact between the two of them since that defeat, then Atiku clearly did not do the right thing. You know the person that you are dealing with, you know the kind of person that he is. You are going to do your best to placate him. Wọ́n ní ká pe wèrè lọ́kọ ìyàwó. Àbí? Ó lè járí mú mi. So you just do your best. This person we know is problematic. Let me manage him properly. They've not managed Wike properly. People can say what they like. People should realize that when most of them were abandoning the party, he stood behind the party and funded it more than any of them. So he sees himself as a factor in the party. He sees himself not as somebody that you can simply brush aside. No, he's bigger than someone that you can simply brush aside. So after losing the election, yes, they came to his house in a large crowd. He had the crowd. They followed him to the place. But he's saying since that time, one-on-one.
Direct communication.
I mean, is it so bad? Didn't we see even an Asiwaju after he won the election? He was the one going to them.
And holding closed door meetings.
Even to somebody who didn't get a single vote, he still went to visit him in his house. Not that person is such a factor. He didn't score a single vote, but he still went to. He didn't see any of them as too small. You understand? So this is the thing. Did Wike lie against him? That since he came with those people that day, he had not made any one-to-one effort to talk to him? Somebody that you need his resources.
Don't you think he's holding that party to ransom?
Say,
Wike.
Oh, I cannot deny that in the past I've seen him hold the party to ransom. But in politics, it is the interest of the individual politicians that matter. So he's trying to protect his interest and the interest of people who are loyal to him. There are many people who will not talk. They will leave Wike to do the talking. But within them, they know that he's fighting their fight. Because how can you... Do you think many of those southern governors are happy that presidential candidate is from the north and the national chairman is from the... Do you think they are happy? They may not like to talk, but they are happy that at least somebody is fronting that battle. So you have a governor in Enugu, for example, who will not speak his mind. It's not everybody who can talk, who will talk like Wike. But it doesn't mean they're against him. How many of them have come out publicly to say, you are fighting the wrong fight, let it remain in the north? Tell me if you've seen any southern governor who has said that.
I have Adisa from Lagos.
Hello.
Thank you, Adisa. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening.
Good evening.
DKO.
Good evening.
Yeah. The issue of Atiku and Wike. You see, the certain governors are the cause of this problem. Their houses are divided before going for the election. And also, we in southern states, especially Southwest, we put our eggs in one basket. You hardly seen some big men from Southwest in PDP. Everybody are in APC. So assuming we have some big men in APC in Southwest, things will have been better. It's like the Northerners are finding it easier to deal with us in Southwest than other Southern region. So that's my contributions.
Thank you, Adisa, for your contribution. Dari, so after that, they have a demand that Atiku should not run for more than one term. He should be a member. The weakest people want to be represented in his campaign committee and ultimately in his cabinet by the time he forms government. And lastly, that he should not run more than a term.
These are conditions. And if what appears like the simplest of it all, that Ayu should obey a previous agreement, follow the tradition of PDP and resign, is already raising so much dust. You heard him say it quite and clear, I'm not going anywhere. If that condition is already becoming problematic, you can imagine asking somebody going in for a first term, somebody who was vice president for 8 years, who understands what power is, somebody who has been struggling to be president since 1992, and you are now giving him the condition to sign that he will not do more than one term. Somebody who is going in there to represent a particular region, who also feels that everybody is entitled to more than a single term. By the time he emerges president, if it happens, you will hear the Northeast saying, when Southwest was there, they did 8 years. When Northwest was there, they did 8 years. Even South, why should it be our own turn now? You say, it will not be a blanket North issue again. So I strongly believe that the PDP, both Atiku's camp and Wike's camp, will have to find a meeting point, a neutral
I thought they are
meeting
beginning
point.
to work on that already.
And that's what they should work on.
It was
All
meant
these
to hold
conditions,
that meeting did not.
all these conditions, should they be rigid, there will be no way forward. Of course,
If they go ahead,
if Atiku wants to,
if they go ahead to suspend Wike for anti-party activity at this point,
that will
That will help the APC. I don't
It's as
think,
simple
I don't
as that.
think they will be dumb to do that. I don't think so.
It will just be, they should themselves
Somebody
in
who
the
has
leg.
all those resources. Look, even in the southeast and south-south, Atiku is already being given problems by the Obi people. Because I was in Imo State.
his vote for
And that's the traditional stronghold
For the
of the
PDP.
PDP. So your legs are shaking even in your traditional stronghold. You want to suspend a governor
On the south
like
side.
this person. I don't think that is what they are considering. The sensible thing is to manage him properly. China, I mean, a bull in a China shop. If you aggressively try to push him out of the
he will
shop,
destroy
it's
things.
going to destroy all your enamel wear that you have there. So the thing is to manage him.
And guide him
They
out
managed him in the past. They managed him in the past. They managed him even before the election in Edo. Eventually, they worked together, and victory came. They managed him in the past, so it's possible to manage him on this. There is nothing bad in having his people represented in government, because it's a factor. He could have won the primaries if not for Tambua. He could easily have won the primary. In fact, he thought he had won. Because his own speech, he was saying, I came to thank you. He was not talking about what he would do. He was not even begging the people to vote for him. He thought by his hard work that he had won. And a lot of his men
so confident.
were the ones who won the primaries. Wike ensured that even Dino did not win in Kogi State. He spread his people all over. So that's a man who has capacity. So is that sort of person you just simply suspend him? When they think his influence is limited to
Rivers.
Rivers. check what happened in the primaries across the states.
Even in Nasarawa.
You will see that his men triumphed in so many places. So, as long as they remain loyal to him and they are his people,